I knew it was bad. I just didn't think it was lose to the Bruins without Pasta or McAvoy bad.
Well, it is.
Clearly. I don't understand.
Well, my players actually know how to use a steak knife, so...
It was a broken glass.
Well, my guys definitely know how to use a glass without cutting themselves.
Do you honestly believe that Jack Hughes, one of the greatest hockey players in the league, a sport where you wear knives on your feet and need the reaction time of an F1 driver, doesn't know how to use a glass?
Where's he originally from?
Florida. Yeah, okay, that's on me.
Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team that is a dub. Back to back dubs. That's what we've been talking about. That's what we've said every damn video. We just want a couple together. Just push them together. Get the wins. Oh, they have such a great opportunity here. You get St. Louis on Tuesday. That's an opportunity. I don't want to jinx anything, but that's an opportunity. Hi, guys. Welcome to it. I'm very excited about this win, because even though the Devils, we're going to talk a lot about their numbers here. I did a little bit of a deep dive, as I like to do, especially with the first meeting of the year with these teams, which I really enjoy that section. I don't know if other people do, but I really enjoy that part of, really checking in on these teams. This was one of those games super winnable. The team's really struggling right now. We just mollywopped the Blues. A win here. Then on Tuesday, the Blues again. Everyone has games in hand on us in the division, and it would just be nice to put ourselves a little ahead, right? Just a little ahead. Great friggin' win. Swayman was fantastic. There's so much to compliment about Swayman and the opportunistic style that the Bruins are playing, because they didn't possess the puck a lot, but what else is new? Check out the Discord. Discord keeps popping off, and they're watching games together during it, which unfortunately I haven't been able to jump in there because I have to take the notes and all that kind of stuff. But the Discord's been a lot of fun. There's a predictions contest going on that you'll find out as soon as you join it that I never win. It's just fun. Check it out if you want to get a little closer to the community. Obviously, YouTube membership program for the high quality inspectors, also great, very helpful as it does support me. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. Let's follow socials. Let's talk about this Devils team, shall we? Let's talk about this Devils team. It's the first meeting of the year. They currently rank 8th on the power play, 16th on the penalty kill, 22nd on goals scored, and 18th on goals allowed. They are 3-7-0 in their last 10, have lost their last 4, and have been shut out in their last 2. And the same old conversation is happening with this team. Will this be another year from hell? It looks like it. It friggin' looks like it. For the 3rd year in a row, I think, they came into the season with some sort of aspirations, but real ones, right? Because I think it was 3 years ago where they took the leap, and we were like, oh, this is this team really has something. Injuries. Or maybe 4 years ago they took a leap. 3 years ago, injuries. Last year, same damn thing. Injuries. Jack Hughes can't stay healthy, and as we're really finding out, Hughes ain't in the lineup. They ain't doing shit. So it's been really rough. I genuinely, this is going to sound really weird, prepare for it, I genuinely kind of feel bad for that fan base. I really do. Because it's one thing when your team kind of sucks, right? We all understand that at some point in our lives, our team has to kind of suck, and they've had plenty of that. It's a totally different thing when you get to see this potential that your team has, and you never get to see it come together because you are never healthy. There are so many franchises that had winning cores together that never even really got the chance. And they're just forgotten about because why would you... No one remembers the semantics to the season, right? You do over the next couple of years, but 5 years from now, I'll be looking back like, wow, the Devils really just couldn't get it together in the early 2020s. It sucks. I feel bad for it. And as the Bruins are going through much of the same thing this year, certainly our aspirations were different this year than the Devils, but we can relate in the fact that our best player is out and a huge swath of the rest of the cast is also out. So actually, let's talk about that real quick. Currently, they are missing Jack Hughes, McEwen, Pesce. Pesce's a huge one too. Kovacevic and Dadonov. they've also, at portions of the season, missed Markstrom, Hamilton, Nason, and Brown for stretches of the year. Obviously, the big one right now is Jack Hughes, as he somehow managed to cut his hand at a steakhouse in mid-November. And he needed surgery to repair it. He was going to be out for a couple of months, is basically what they said. That's where things really started to get messy, because before the injury to Jack Hughes, the Devils were 12-4-1, tied for second in the league, and they spent an early portion of the season ahead of basically everybody. I mean, the Avs were right there too, but there was like real, oh my gosh, the Devils are on a revenge tour right now. So they were 7th in goals for per game with 3.41 and 10th in goals allowed with 2.94. Their power play, 6th in the league, sat at 26.2%. Their penalty kill, 8th, was at 83%. That's all before his injury on, I think, like the 13th or 14th of November. After that, they were 4-7-0 coming into this game, 29th league-wide, record-wise. They are scoring 2.27 goals per game, down from 3.4. That's an absurd drop. That's also 29th in the league during that time frame. They're allowing 3.18 per game. That's 18th in the league during that time frame. Power play has gotten worse, but is still okay at 21.4%, and that's good enough for 10th, and their penalty kill fell to 73.1%, which is 28th league-wide, again, from the time of his injury till now. There are a lot of injuries, so I don't want to just put it all on Jack Hughes. I don't want to sit there and be like, well, you don't have this guy, you don't have anything, so a little grace there. But let's be honest with ourselves. Jack Hughes is the biggest piece that's really changed things. And I do wonder about the mental aspect of this. Because it's one thing, if it happens one year and it's next man up, it's next man up. We do what we can. We fight, we claw, we get every point we can. Totally get that. If you are part of a team that for the third year in a row, the same guys get injured, and you watch the team start to like lag and struggle, does it not seep in a little bit? Does it not make you kind of go, well, here we go again? And that here we go again attitude infects everything. People act like it's so easy just to shake that stuff off. No, it's not. It seeps in, and it's hard, and it makes you hesitate just once or twice. And those are the difference-making plays. I think there's a mental aspect here that maybe the Devils shouldn't be 4-7-0 in their last 7. Maybe they shouldn't be struggling to score quite like they are while Jack Hughes is out and Pesce is out. But mentally, they've got to be so fatigued from what it's looked like the past couple of years, and it just feels like it keeps happening. You're wasting years of your prime core. Now, look, all these players are projected to come back, and, like, it's fine. They have plenty of time to work this out. Obviously, this is not great, but once healthy, they should be one of the better teams in the East, especially considering what the East looks like right now. And the East is doing them a lot of favors because a lot of teams keep losing. But I'm a little worried about the mentality of that team. I shouldn't be worried about that team. I got plenty to worry about on my end. The goaltending has been a little weird for them. Markstrom is struggling to start the season. Again, he dealt with some injuries, so maybe a little grace here, but he has an .876 save percentage. Wow. And a 3.51 goals allowed average. Not great. Allen, on the other hand, who we will be playing tonight, has been excellent, posting a .911 save percentage and a 2.48 goals allowed average. So we get the better goalie, which is just fine by me because we got to earn it against everyone. And I know we haven't only been playing backups, but it's very clear that a lot of teams are choosing to play their backups against us, which is slowly changing. I mean, maybe I got to check the numbers. Maybe that's not true. I feel like that's true. But it does feel like it's slowly changing because if there's one thing this team isn't lacking right now, it's goals. We're still scoring. We're just giving up a ton of chances the other way. Thank God for Swayman. Speaking of Swayman, here's the lineup. Steves, Lindholm, Elias, of course, Geeky, Middlestat, Zaka, Arvidsson, Janot, Minton, Kostelik, Huznadinov, Corelli, Asama, Hampus, Peak, Zadorov, Aspero, Lorai, Soderstrom, Swayman. Out. We still have Pasternak out, although he's skating. Charlie McAvoy out. He's skating. I have an update about him. Harris still out. Blumel, Yogi Haru, and Callahan. McAvoy. We got really bad news about McAvoy. We got really bad news. He said, I don't even know how this is physically possible. I guess this is what happens when you have an elite athletic body. But he said he's lost about 20 pounds already. He can't eat solid foods. It's all straw. He broke everything here. Everything. Good thing he has those chubby cheeks for protection. Didn't protect him enough, though. So he's losing a ton of weight, which means even when he is ready, and yeah, he's got the bubble and he's getting back on the ice and that'll help, but protein shakes only go so far as well. Even when he's ready, it's going to take a significant amount of time for this guy to recover. 20 pounds? Losing 20 pounds is way easier than gaining 20. And I know a lot of us average Joes are like, I don't know about that, actually. I have a very easy time gaining weight. But when you're an athlete and it's expected that most of that's muscle, yeah, it takes a long time for that to happen. Now, luckily, his body naturally sits probably in that area, or at least has consistently sat in the area for a long time, so the recovery should be pretty quick. But, I mean, there's a possibility that we're at the year's end and he still just doesn't look normal because he's just trying to get back up to what he was. That's tough, especially for such a physical player. Not great news on that, but hey, this team, we've already said it, we got to roll with the punches. It's going to be what it's going to be. And what are you going to do other than shrug your shoulders, right? This was a retooling year. The team's okay. We're just going to go with it. I was super bummed to hear that, though. 20 pounds? Seriously. How? Let's talk about this game, shall we? Puck drops. Puck drops! And 2:18 left of the first period. I have jack shit all to say about this period. It's been mostly Devils for the entire period. The Bruins have 4 shots to their 8, which 8 isn't a crazy amount either. But the only Bruins line to consistently get into the O-zone is... Yeah, you got it. Third line. You nailed that. Good work by you. We should do a Dora the Explorer episode. So Dorov is able to get this puck deep. Remember, 2:18 left. Is able to get this puck deep into the glove side corner. Kostelic gets there first and tries to just whip this into the slot, like crease front. It gets batted down and batted away back towards that same corner, but a little farther up the wall. Nemec gets this puck and looks like he has a very easy, like, I can skate this up the wall and clear this out. But Kostelic goes right at him. Stick lifts from behind, rips the puck away, and does the same damn thing. Just flings it right back into the slot. This time, Fraser Minton is available for it, though, and he's going to bury this low blocker. It's 1-0. Thank the hockey gods. That third line has deserved so much more that they've gotten as far as scoring luck. This wasn't luck. This was a great shot. Minton, I've been begging Minton to pot a couple of goals. He has so many opportunities. And look, he's still growing, 21 years old. I think his ceiling's higher than where he's currently at. You would expect that at 21 years old, but with hockey players, nothing is standard. You never really know. A little more scoring touch, and this guy has like the potential to be a 20-goal scorer on the year, 25. I really like what he's doing. Now, of course, I think he's always going to be more of like a defensively minded guy, so I doubt he ever really hits those numbers consistently. But when he's being put into a chance to score, I just want to see a little more finish from him. This isn't even a criticism. I think it will come with time. He's just wildly impressive in so many aspects of the game. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited that he got rewarded. I'm excited. I don't know what this was, but it was my little excitement moment. 57 seconds later, because it's 2:18 left. Like, oh, you got the lead. You get to go into the second with the lead. Frick no. Absolutely not. Shut up, idiot. 57 seconds later, Devils in our zone. And this is a really good bounce, I feel like, for the Devils, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it was intentional. Luke Hughes rips it from the blocker side point. Hischier is in the slot. He gets a piece of this, but it then also gets deflected off of Hampus, who's on him. And it goes to Meyer, who's basically backdoor, and he has a really great chance to finish this one, and he is able to sneak it past Swayman. Zacha really blew the coverage on this one. And Zacha had been fantastic in this period, and the back-checking alone, he made a highlight reel back-checking play at one point. But this was a missed coverage, because he's just standing there in no man's land, and Meyer just kind of sneaks behind him, and as soon as Zacha turns, he's like, that's my guy. And you can make the argument that it should have been someone else because Hampus is in kind of the center of the slot on a guy, but man on man, you're checking your assignments, you're like, nope, pretty sure that's Zacha. That's the fun thing about the defensive structure, though, is I have to really think about, well, is that actually this guy's guy, or did something get twisted at one point? So Zacha lost him, didn't pick him up, and That is what it is. It's 1-1. We're going to go to the second period. In 1:12 in, Steves is doing his thing. You can't knock this guy out of the lineup. Like, you couldn't. I'm pretty sure the team would be pissed if you knocked this guy out of the lineup. The puck gets dumped into the Devils zone beneath the goal line on the glove side. Steves gets there first and taps this to Geeky, who's behind the net. He feeds Zadorov coming down the blocker side of the zone. He's going to slam this on net. It gets knocked away. I don't even know if it gets to the goaltender, but it gets pushed back to its original spot, actually, below the goal line on the glove side. Dylan is there first. He has a chance to make a play. But here comes Steves again, and with speed. It forces Dylan to make a bad pass very hastily. Elias says, thank you very much, bottom of the glove side circle, collects that, and he's just going to whip this right back into the crease, and it ends up being a backdoor chance for Geeky, who's wide open, and it's 3-1. Fan-freaking-tastic. I don't know why I said 3-1. It's 2-1. My brain sometimes. But that's okay, because it doesn't make me a liar, because it will be 3-1 eventually. Spoilers. 6:13 left. We are going to go on the penalty kill. Zadorov for tripping. We do kill it. The refs had no interest in getting involved in this game, which I loved. I thought there was a lot of chippiness, but I actually thought both teams kept it between the lines pretty well, and so there were really low power play totals. Kind of loved that. I wouldn't say it benefits the Bruins right now because their power play and penalty kill have been really good, but still, I think this team needs to work through some stuff on 5-on-5. Keep the reps coming. We're going to go to the third period. 10:52 left. Huzadinov knocked down by Chalowski. Interference. We're going to the power play. A lot of opportunity, including a Steves posting out, but no dice on that. Worth mentioning, the Devils did hit a crossbar or a post, I think, 3 times this game. They had a lot of close calls. 3:35 left. And notice, I'm just skipping through. There's so little to actually talk about here. There's some good saves. There's some good team plays. But at the end of the day, there's nothing worth like fully highlighting into its own moment. This was just a very solid checking game in which refs weren't involved. There was next to nothing to stop the clock. I mean, we were flying through this game. It's 10:08 right now. Usually at 10:08, I'm just getting started doing this stuff. This game was fast. 3:35 left. The Bruins are pushing the puck up the ice, and it's gorgeous. The second line had been getting caved all night. Seriously, the large majority of the night, they are just getting pushed into their zone and scrambling. This is Arvidsson, this is Middlestat, this is Zacha. Large majority of the game. But they're going to come up the zone. Arvidsson is going to be on the glove side of the neutral zone, skating by the penalty boxes. And he is going to whip this over to Zacha, who's at the center ice. Zaka's going to quickly send it back to Arvidsson, which just makes the defense think, right? It just makes them pause, hesitate a little bit. Arvy's going to take the zone. Zacha is going to go straight down the zone towards the glove side post. Middlestat on the far end there is going to do the same thing on the blocker side post. This pushes the defense back. We talk about this all the time. You rush to the front of the net because it forces the 2 defenders to back up. There are 3 defenders here for the Devils. There's three Devils players involved in this play. But all 3 descend. Allows Arvidsson to cut across the top. Now, there's a little hesitation. Because all 3 are down, they have to turn and go, okay, where's this play going? So they're not pushing as fast as they could be down to the bottom. What this allows is now Arvidsson whips this puck to Zacha, who's on that glove side post, who has a cross-crease opportunity. There is a stick there. There's a Devils defenseman there, but not strong. And he gets it under his stick to Middlestat, who's going to hammer this into the wide-open net. And it is 3-1. I told you it'd be 3-1. I promised. We made it happen. If I'm a Devils fan, and I watched a play that is a 3-on-3, and it resulted in a cross-crease backdoor tap-in with no board play, no weird bounces, nothing, I'd be livid. Livid. This was a 1-goal game. Yes, there's 3.5 minutes left. That's so unacceptable. Unbelievably bad. All right, so it's 3-1. Peak is going to get the empty netter. I think it's his first goal of the year. They made a big deal about it, but I was busy laughing at Peak, just being Peak. Everyone celebrated for him, so it must have been his first of the year, would be my guess. It's 4-1, and that's your final.
A couple of game notes here. I'm actually going to delete the one that I already did about the Bruins having an opportunity because I feel like now I'm just jinxing everything. First one, Zadorov really getting involved in the offensive zone, and it's almost always a good thing thanks to his skating ability and long reach. He can recover better than most players. He is a really nice skater, and he has some nice offensive instincts. I have really liked when I see him come down that left side wall and make a play. I would love for him to really focus on that in his game. He has been doing that, so this is kind of like late for me to say this, but it has been very advantageous for the Bruins when he does get involved in that way, as long as his partner is also aware of it. But I just kind of wanted to shout him out because he had a fantastic game, I thought. There were some defensive miscues in there a little bit, but for the most part, I thought he was our most consistent with getting the puck out of the zone, winning board battles, and getting the puck up ice. So good job by him. We allowed a lot of shots. Again, a lot of them to the outside, but it got messy in moments. I am a little still worried about how often we are allowing long bouts of possession in our zone, which we did often in this game. And goaltending has been a huge factor for us, but it's tough when you are truly relying on it to win you games. The shot totals, I think, in this game were a little misleading. I would expect our expected goals to be close. I don't think they really blew us out of the water in that regard, although they did have a lot more shots than us. I think everyone has the same feeling. Somebody who tracks analytics and, watches all the games. I think most of us side with, this team isn't a cup contender. Like, the front office knows that, right? Right? They're not gonna be big buyers at the deadline. Like, I'm not gonna say that it's at the end of every video. I feel like I've been saying it a lot lately, but it's just games like this are a perfect encapsulation of, like, did we deserve a 4-1 win? Like, Swayman's part of the team. People are like, oh, well, your goaltender got hot. Yeah, my goaltender, who's a player, won the game. Like, that's how a team works. I always kind of hated that excuse, even though I've used it myself. But the worry is really there that the front office might just not be seeing what the rest of us are in the underlying numbers. That's a ridiculous take. They must understand. They must, right? Right? It's fine. It's fine. A little negative thing here. Asamont feels like the first candidate to get moved out. He's largely been a nothing burger. And this is a weird year for me because I feel like usually when I come into the season, I like this player, I don't like this player that much, blah, 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 back and forth. And I take my lumps on some of them. I'm very correct about others. It feels like pretty much everything I liked was not correct. And everything I didn't like was also not correct. I mean, that's not quite true, but I like Blue Mel more than like Steves. Steves is having a way bigger impact than Blue Mel did, even when Blue Mel got a look up here. I was excited about Zadorov, but like that was me recovering from being so wrong about that forever. Arvidsson, I was like, it's nice to have a true guy for the third line, and now he's playing a true part of a second line in which he's been, solid enough. Asamont, I loved that signing. I loved it as a depth signing. I thought he was going to be one of our most important bottom sixers. And where would you rank him as far as important bottom sixers? Would he even be top 6? Seeing how much movement we've had there. He's been largely a nothing burger, and I've been really surprised by that because he's usually an animal on the ice from what I've seen, but this season I haven't really seen any of it. So I don't think he's doing a bad job. Like, I don't think he's a problem, but if I'm bringing Pasta back, I'm leaving Steve's in, I'm leaving Huznadinov in, and I'm moving Asamon out. I think that's where I stand right now. It's just not something I would have expected, Huznadinov is another one I got a lot wrong through the preseason. But you guys were so in on that, and for some reason I had a blind spot there. That was really funny. Like, you guys were so, like, the majority of you were like, we love Huznadinov, we think this guy... Great work by you. This is what it is. This is community. Lastly, I wanted to do just a tad little tiny bit prospect talk for a second. Just a little second. Tonight, Dean Letourneau had another snipe. Just an absolute snipe. James Hagens had an assist. They're both a point per game. Will Zellers, not a point per game, I don't think, but he's got first or second on the team for North Dakota in scoring, and he looks awesome. Did something filthy 2 nights ago. These 3 guys from the NCAA, at the end of their season, have an opportunity to get moved up. Now, of course, I think Hagens is already a done deal. The end of this year, he'll be either jumping up to play in the AHL for the end of the AHL season, or we might see him with some NHL time. I don't think this conversation is anything about him, really. Will Zellers is a freshman, and I think he has a ton more stuff to work on, although his shooting and his offensive IQ, everything's been awesome. I would be shocked if Zellers was a one-and-done in college. Dean Letourneau becomes really interesting. And I kind of want to preach patience, because when Dean Letourneau was drafted, what did we say? Well, that's a 4-year project, 4 or 5-year project. And in the first year, he played 36 games and scored 0 goals. Project. This year, I think he's over a point per game, or he's right at it. And he's scoring like crazy. He's playing a great net front role. His long reach he's learned to use to his advantage. His weird release is an advantage. He looks great. He looks really good. And he's massive. I think he needs another year in college. Now, obviously, we're still super early in the season. This is me getting way ahead of myself. But I would be very surprised if they went, great season, come on up. The highest I could see him go this year is his season ends and he's like, I want to make the next leap, and he goes to the AHL. And my guess would be he would spend some time in the ECHL and then the AHL. To end the season, he probably stays in the AHL, but I bet he would bounce between them in his first full season with them. I've seen people talk about him potentially being on the team late this season, and even more interestingly, next year on the Bruins team. I think we still need to treat him like a project. I love that he's making this difficult, though. That's what we should be excited about. People are, like, even with the Bruins, I see this question all the time about, like, I'm kind of believing in them, I'm excited about this, I'm excited about that. Sports has become so polarizing because everyone wants to be right. Right? Like, I mean, I want to be right, too. It's sports, so I have a pretty easy time being like, oh, I was wrong about that, because I want it to be fun. But my expectations, I want to be optimistic. We've reached a point where there's so many fans out there that don't want to believe in anything because they don't want to be wrong about it. And if they are believing it, it's almost to a level of satire where they won't take anything realistically. Dean is creating this situation, which I really enjoy, that everybody around just goes like, I have this take, but like, he's just making this really hard to figure out. He went from 0 goals, 3 assists in like 30-something games to now being a point per game through 16 and sniping on goaltenders. I think he needs another year at BC. I wouldn't want to rush him to the next level. But I am so very pumped that we are talking 2 months into the season about prospects, not because the Bruins season is completely kaput, but because we have multiple guys lighting their leagues on fire. Maybe not quite on fire, but Zellers, every game virtually there's some sort of highlight from him. Hagens and Letourneau, I've turned it on in a big way and are the some of the forces on a very good BC team. I'm missing someone. Cooper Simpson's going off in the USHL again. Pelosi looks great. I mean, there's just a lot of guys that you just sit there and go like, I really like what we're seeing. And in the AHL right now, Liesel has 10 points in his last 5 games. Luck Mills continues to impress in all sorts of situations down there. It's just stuff to like. I'm just happy. Who wouldn't be? Go Bees. Go Bees! Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video and joining me as we experience this crazy Bruins season together. The names popping up on your screen now are from the top line tier and the all-star tier of the YouTube membership program for this YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you who help support the channel so that we can do more fun things, and I am always open to more ideas of how I can help give back to those who support the channel. At the end of the day, this channel is always going to be about the community, and I want to continue to grow that way, so please always feel free to reach out with new ideas and fun ways we can expand on this, or if you just need someone to talk to, I'm always here for you guys. Thank you all for your support, and as always, go Bees!